I predicted the Wizard Liz's downfall years ago. And when I tell people that this was predictable and they say that I'm tripping, I always look at them sideways because the thing that people don't look at when we look at situations like this, they talk about how a man will do anything to bring you down. They'll talk about how a man will study you and try to fuck up your life and leave. And they talk about the fact that that man said, "You're my baby mama, now I won." But no one talks about the fact that women also are perpetuating this. Y'all's reaction tell me everything that I need to know, and it proves to me that I was right in my prediction and I knew how this would be handled. Because no one is looking at the fact that people are still condemning this woman for coming forward with her experience. Because now people feel jilted and they feel stupid because they were listening to advice that they should not have been listening to. I have said it before and I will say it again. People will give horrible advice because it's what worked for them, but advice is not one size fits all. The issue is that advice has been marketed on such a wide scale. And you can notice this in the way that people encourage you to read self-help books that literally arose because of capitalism. It has been studied throughout multiple disciplines through humanities. Historians, psychologists, sociologists, doctors have all said there has been foundational research stating that self-help books are actually less effective than reading literature, classic literature, reading stories, having experiences, getting involved with therapy. And it's something that's so interesting to me because I think that people want the easy way out. And the problem is that people look at the idea of advice because this is very integral to this whole situation. The reason why this woman got played was because she promoted a certain lifestyle that was unrealistic, that she was obtaining because people were feeding into it. And a man saw that, he looked at her tactics, he looked what she wanted, her ideals, he mimicked that, got her pregnant, and left. And the issue is that she is not living to the standards that she's putting out, which is really common in this kind of advising influencer sphere. You can look at people like Andrew Tate, you can look at people across the board, but what I will tell you this right now is that there is absolutely a danger to putting what you want online to the fullest because people can see that and use it. And yes, you will be affected because anyone who has social media around you now has the keys on how to manipulate you. And unfortunately, I'm not someone who thinks like that because that's not how I have my relationships in my life. But I could absolutely see that happen because I've had things like that happen to me. And the biggest issue that I have with this is that there's this massive criticism about this woman now coming out about her experience. And I think that this is very important because people are criticizing her for not following her own advice and saying that she should keep it to herself or her family or her friends with her recent struggles of now not having her child. And I think that people just feel so nasty and disgusting about the fact that they were just so easily listening to someone because they wanted to buy that persona. And this is the cornerstone of this argument that I don't see a lot of people talking about. This is probably one of the newer takes. I'm not sure if anyone has said this before. But the fundamental issue here is that people are now believing that they can buy who they are. We have really broken down into personas. Society is kind of fractured into archetypes. For example, you have the cool girl, the clean girl, an emo girl. Everything is stereotyped. The rich girl, the gym bro. You get what I mean. And the thing is people aren't realizing that these archetypes will strip you of your personality because now capitalism has seen, and people who participate in this market have seen, that if they can market you the idea of being a clean girl or a cool girl, they can sell that to you. Every clean girl needs a nice water bottle. Every gym bro needs more protein. Try this protein powder. I don't think you guys are understanding just how much that is wrapped up with this woman's brand, because that's the problem with the Wizard Liz that no one's talking about. She became a brand and not a person. She did not heed her advice. She did not care about advice. She was a character. She was an archetype. She was selling that lifestyle to you so that you could fund hers. And I think that's what people need to understand because it's genuinely dangerous. People are not getting the fact that this isn't just about a man. This is not just about the fact that that man used red pill tactics on this woman. Because make no mistake, there has been evidence that he's been on these forums that are red pill based that give you tactics on how to control a woman. And I fully believe that every woman should have some sort of cognizant awareness of it, whether they want to or not, because these tactics are likely used on you, your family, and your friends. Make no mistake, and it doesn't just have to be women. These men will alter that and manipulate everyone else. And it's not all men, but let me tell you something. It works the same. These men, these incels, these people who are red pill, that's all that they are, is they're funding a false lifestyle. Like those fucking, the corny motherfuckers Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, all of them, Sneeko, all those guys. They are selling you the idea. They are selling you the dream so that you will fund their lifestyle. They don't actually live like that. And you've seen that time and time again with all of these scandals with people like Fresh and Fit. Like, Myron and like Andrew Tate. And I only know about that because I follow a couple YouTubers who talk about those guys, because I can't sit with that kind of content. It's degrading, it's disgusting, and it's not realistic. You can tell that these guys don't even think that way. And there's so many men who have been caught up in their own scandals where these women are either like seeing that and using them because they know what they want, or where these women don't like them or they leave them because they know that these men only want them for this, that, and the third, sex, whatever, clout. And that's the thing, is that I think that in these situations, people become bargaining chips. They're not necessarily people. You're not getting in a relationship. You are entering an archetype, and you're entering like a public story that you tell others. You're putting on a play for society. A lot of these situations are literally arranged. And you can see it throughout. It doesn't even have to be anything extreme. I think the problem is with society is they expect extreme behavior in a way that's measurable, that is like really shocking. But a lot of the times, really extreme behavior is just little actions on a daily basis. Just because someone doesn't come out and call you a slur does not mean that they don't have hate in their heart, they're not evil or racist. And that's something that like I struggle with seeing on a day-to-day basis, is that is one of the biggest problems in society. People think that just because someone isn't outright saying that they hate women, or that, oh, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, whatever the fuck you believe in. Just because someone isn't saying that up front, that doesn't mean that they follow that. Oh, like, I'm gonna give you an example so you guys can understand what I'm saying, because I'm having a hard time here. When all of you guys were surprised that your favorite influencers were MAGA, there were signs, you just didn't want to see it, or you were not taught to see the fact that just because someone isn't saying it outright doesn't mean that they don't align with those values. It is the same thing for misogynists. It is the same thing for these men that are using the tactics to take women and ruin their lives. It has become a goal for a lot of men, and I'm not saying it's all of them. I know some really good men, stand-up guys, but they have to actively look at that and combat that and say, hey, I don't align with that bullshit. Well, most of my male friends that are cool are very anti-red pill. They immediately say this is some stupid scam bullshit. And at the end of the day, the whole red pill or pink, I'm hearing that there's like a pink pill version of this where it's women-centered, where you have people like the Wizard Liz, where they think like, oh, just fuck them and leave them. There's another lady, the Sprinkle lady on here, and I've had beef with her for a long time because she's setting a lot of women up for failure. And I can make a whole video on that if you would like. But that's what the Wizard Liz was doing as well. These people are scammers. They are scammers. They're selling you something that isn't even necessarily real. It is a pyramid scam. And you'll notice too, a lot of these people will sell classes. They'll have workshops, or they will be promoting certain things on TikTok, or they'll be running certain ads. And it's so alarming because some of the people who I thought were really intelligent and who I thought were really sound fall for that over and over again because it hasn't been made apparent, and there are no creators making videos talking about the fact is most of this is subtle manipulation. Oh shit. Sorry, but it's manipulation. And that's why I sit and I look at you guys sideways when you're like, how did we get here? How do we have this administration? How are we in this situation? How is everything going sideways? You guys were not taught to look at what's happening. You lost inference. You lost the fact that not everything is black and white. You are not paying attention to the little actions that amount to the big event. So if you can do anything, do that. And if this is one video I want people to see because I've been falling off, it's this one. I really hope that you guys watch this through. Ask me questions or like, let me know what you think. But I think that I wasn't even going to make this, but I think it's so important that people hear this because these situations are real and they are important and they do affect you and your family and friends, whether you know it or not, on a day-to-day basis. It affects our society, our politics, and our quality of life, and our environments.